Hey folks, welcome back and thank you for tuning in again. After a long, miserable, wet, dull winter, spring is finally back here. Daylight hours are getting longer. Sometimes it's even a little bit brighter out, although it's still just as wet. I've broadly stayed in the same area, on the Yorkshire-Lancashire border, and I'm going to stay here for a few more weeks because first of all, my next new to me place is properly out in the sticks, and the towpath out there is unmade. There's hardly anybody except boaters go out there, so it's just a mud track, and I'd prefer to go out there when that's hopefully dried out a bit, so I'm not dragging mud onto the boat. And secondly, because I'm in upgrade season, year 3 on the boat. So obviously living on the boat, I'm off grid, which means I'm not connected to any utilities, and specifically mains electricity. So my power comes from a battery bank on the boat, which is recharged either via running the engine, which burns diesel, and I'm not physically moving anywhere, or from the retrofitted solar panels that I had put on at the end of my boat build. Running the engine uses diesel and it's noisy and it's not that pleasant. Solar panels, the problem with them is, well, first of all, I'm in the north of England, not renowned for being gloriously sunny every day of the week, month, year, but also because the way the clever electronics, the MPPT gubbins stuff works is that when my batteries are fully charged, when I've got a brilliant bright sunny day, it stops charging the batteries, but all that sunlight goes to waste. So what I've been doing with the boat is 2 years ago I changed the battery system. I made it a lithium hybrid system. Lithium has much greater energy storage, energy density. Last year I installed what's called a solar dump, which is another clever bit of electronics, which basically, when the batteries reach full charge and the MPT stops charging them, the solar dump kicks in and it sends the excess solar power, as it were, to a calorifier in the engine bay, which is basically a fancy electric water kettle that holds about 35 litres, so I get free hot water out of it. This year, and it's a reason why I'm staying in this environment, the second reason I'm staying in this environment for a few weeks longer is I've decided to upgrade my solar power. In theory, with the existing system I've got, on a perfect sunny day, I could get a kilowatt of electricity out of my solar panels. I did manage that last year for a while, because we did have a fairly glorious summer last year, but at this time of the year, at best I'm getting 100 watts, 150 watts of power, which is barely enough to charge the batteries up without still having to run the engine of an evening. So I'm upgrading the solar system to 1.2 kilowatts, get my language right, which might not sound like a lot, but it's 20% more solar power. So it means even on a bright-ish day, I should be able to get my batteries up to full charge without having to run the engine. So as I was saying, it's been a dull, miserable, wettish winter. I've not been out and about an awful lot, and taking pictures when it's dull and grey, you don't get an awful lot of cracking pictures. But I've got some video. I've ticked one of my bucket lists off, and I finally managed to photograph kingfisher in focus, largely. It wasn't the maximum extent of my camera's lens, but you'll see some photographs of kingfisher. I'm going to post obviously more pictures, some more pictures of the weather and places around here over the winter. And as usual, there is a time lapse at the end from one of my little travels. Hopefully I'll be travelling again soon, better weather, and see some new places. usually catching up with you again. I've got one last thing to ask you though. YouTube videos. There's a lot of you are following me, and there's an awful lot of you watching videos. I'd like you to do me a favour. It won't cost you anything, and you won't get boomed with spam, junk, emails, anything or anything like that. Below the video on YouTube, there's a thumbs up, the like button. Could you please, if you feel able to, click the like button? It would help the channel, my channel, so much. The reason being is the way YouTube works is you can obviously search for a specific subject or a specific, a specific YouTube video, and you will get it. Videos like mine, channels like mine, channels like everybody else who's out there, rely on likes, because unless we get a like on there, YouTube's algorithms doesn't promote those videos or those channels to the YouTube users or YouTube users. And I'm sure there may be some others who might like to see where I've been, what I'm doing and where I'm going. So please, a like, I'd appreciate it very much. Like I say, it doesn't cost you anything, and it will have no impact on you personally whatsoever. I'll leave you some videos, photos, and specifically the kingfisher, the time lapse at the very end. Look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Ta-ra. Sorry, mate.
Yeah.